Now, the devil is in the detail. European leaders are attempting to flesh out the migration deal struck at last week's Brussels summit. And one sticking point that's emerged is a different law that applies to migrants picked up in international waters and those found in coastal waters. Well, I'm joined now by Euronews correspondent Brian Carter. Brian, can you tell us what exactly is this debate about?
Well, Tessa, there are still a lot of discussions following the conclusions of the summit that was held here on Thursday and Friday, especially regarding the cooperation with Libya and Libyan authorities, with many saying that this posed a greater risk for refugees of being detained in Libya under the current conditions, which the United Nations have called an outrage to humanity. But one sentence in the conclusion was also focused a lot of the attention. This sentence in the third paragraph reads that all vessels operating in the Mediterranean must respect the applicable laws and not obstruct operations of the Libyan Coast Guard. So it seems to infer greater power for Libyan Coast Guards and Libyan authorities, and that search and rescue operations by EU vessels could face legal challenges. Now, NGOs were quick to react, saying that this posed a greater threat to their independence and their work. Euronews yesterday spoke with an expert on the role of non-state actors in humanitarian situations, and here's what he had to say about this sentence.
The sentence sends a political message, which is that the European Union stands behind Italy in their willingness to regulate, if not straitjacket, the activities of NGOs offshore Libya. What the sentence means from a legal standpoint is more obscure, because one of the key principles of international maritime law is the notion of freedom of navigation. There is nothing that prevents any vessel from conducting a search and rescue operation in international waters, if so they wish.
Indeed, you heard it. So it's actually mandatory for vessels to help people that have been stranded at sea and bring them to a safe place. Nothing in international law can prevent that. But countries also have the responsibility to find a safe place for people that have been saved. And Libya is not considered to be a safe place. So if the rescue operation happens in international waters, vessels cannot go back to Libya and disembark the migrants there, even if the rescue operation is coordinated by Libya, unless, of course, it's a Libyan ship. And that point was clearly explained yesterday by the European Commission during a press conference.
If it's Libya coordinating a search and rescue operation in the sea, all vessels must respect the orders of the Rescue Coordination Center of Libya. The Libyan authorities and the Libyan Coast Guard have all the rights to come back to Libya to disembark.
So indeed, the best hope for migrants is to reach international waters, which is set at 12 nautical miles from the coast, about 22 kilometers. You heard it from Alex. A lot of people say that this creates a pull factor for migrants, but there's actually no statistical evidence to prove that. On the other hand, some studies seem to indicate that indeed the fact that there are search and rescue operations pushes smugglers to take greater risks with the lives of migrants.